And we are getting ready to discuss a collaborative effort between Highlanders Steel Orchestra and the World Steelpan Thrust, celebrating World Steelpan Day. And for that, we have Robert Hernandez, director of the Highlanders Steel Orchestra, as well as Hayden Gittens, director of the World Steelpan Thrust of Trinidad and Tobago. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I want to say happy World Steelpan Day in advance. Talk to me about the day and the collaboration, please, Mr. Gittens.
Happy World Steelpan Day.
Yes,
and just to correct, it's World Steelpan Day and World Steelpan Trust. So basically, last year, we entered into a collaboration with the Highlanders Steel Orchestra to host the first Bertie Marshall School Steelpan Trust, Steelpan quiz and spelling bee competition. And we held it at the Highlanders Panyard. It was very successful, well supported by the community. This year, we decided to go a few steps larger. So we're hosting the second annual event, but we're hosting it at the IMAX movie theater at 1 Woodbrook Place. And we're doing that on Sunday the 10th, the day before World Steelpan Day. And of course, on World Steelpan Day, we will be having our own celebration of World Steelpan Day. As you know, there's a big event in Woodford Square. Our event focuses on youth bands. So we'll have a range of youth bands, and Robert will give the details on the bands that will be attending. And we have that event. It starts at 4 p.m. on World Steelpan Day and goes until.
Just before you give me the rundown on the bands who will be in attendance, Mr. Hernandez, people posting on you, the community saying how you gonna move it, or they're saying, okay, well, it's getting bigger and better?
No, well, again, good morning to all your viewers. Happy World Steelpan Day to the national community and by extension the world. The community has really come out in support of us now. As you would know, Highlanders is one of our legacy bands in this country. So that the resurgence now of Highlanders within the community is generating a lot of excitement, a lot of community support, and the fact that we are now involving youths primarily in bringing back the band. Parents are coming out, community support is coming out. We are getting a lot of support now doing what we are doing now. And we are linking all of this now with one of our premier leaders of Highlanders who has passed on, the Bertie Marshall. So this quiz that we are about to do now is in honor of him. So it's the Bertie Marshall National Steelpan Quiz and Spelling Bee competition, which we started last year, and we intend to have every year going forward to include not just the region, but the entire nation. We intend to have representation throughout the country coming into Laventille to have this quiz. So we are very excited about it.
What's the significance of having this thrust, no pun intended, to say, okay, well, as opposed to even more than pan, there's so much more that can be happening fueled by pan group, a pan side, a legacy grouping. Because sometimes people think pan is just pan as opposed to pan is learning, pan is study, pan is learning how to be able to develop and engage with each other. What's the importance of that?
Well, that's a very good question, because Highlanders is in the community of Success Village, Laventille. And we have our challenges in Laventille. So we undertook bringing Highlanders back as not just a steel orchestra, but as a community development organization. And with the history and the legacy of Highlanders, we undertook going to the government and securing property on the Eastern Main Road in Laventille. So there was an abandoned gas station which we negotiated with NP and got a 99-year lease. As you enter Laventille, you will see the structure. We then went to the East Port of Spain Development Company and had discussions and negotiated with them, and they completed a modern pan theater there for us. In that theater, we have an after-school and homework center where between Mondays and Thursdays on evenings, children come to that after-school center, complete their homework with volunteers that we have coming there. We also have in that facility a gift shop, a cafeteria. That space now has become a safe space where we have been able to successfully bridge the gap between the various pockets of our community. So you have folks coming into our panyard from the Beatum, from Rock City, from Pritzkerland, from Chumakak, and this coming together now where music is the center stone, but it's really community development, community harmony. It's a love. We have support from the TTPS that just visits us now just to make sure, hi, you know, we are here if you should ever need us. And thank God we have not had any issues since we rebuilt the Spaniard and started this whole initiative now that is directed at youth development.
And it's really a beautiful thing that there is a space where people can come together and say, well, in this space, we're about this, and this is peace and love and togetherness. Mr. Gittens, take me through some of the logistics, because I know on Monday admission is free, on Sunday is a little less free.
It's a little less free, and of course it will be supported. It's to cover the cost of having it at the venue. So just to be specific, it's a quiz competition where at the initial stage there will be 8 participants, eight groups. There are 3 schools involved, and Robert, perhaps you can outline the schools that are involved, the primary schools, and then we have the 3 bands.
Yeah, we have, as participants in this national quiz, we have the Russell Latapy Secondary School, we have the Mover Laventil Secondary School, we have Success Laventil Secondary School. These are the 3 secondary schools in our catchment area. Highlanders Steel Orchestra is going to field 3 separate teams. Naturally, we are hosting it, and we would like to have some degree of an advantage going into this competition. We're also going to have all the way from Separia, not Separia Deltone, Separia, it escapes me right now, but we have a steel orchestra. Diatonics, correct. Forgive me for that slip. But the Diatonic Steel Orchestra from Separia, they are bringing a team to compete in this competition. So there's going to be 8 separate groups competing for some wonderful prizes that we are going to have. And I know that you'll mention
yes.
about the prizes.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Yeah. So you know, as mentioned, so that's on Sunday. Admission is $50, and as I said, we expect strong support from the community there. And on Monday, the event is free. So this year has been a trying year, difficult year in terms of getting sponsorship support. Both organizations rely heavily on state-owned companies for support. And as we know, there's a lot of change taking place at the very top there. So, but nevertheless, we are grateful for the support provided, heavy support provided by the Bermudas Group, who provided prizes, Subway, who provided prizes. We are grateful for the support of the Unitrust Corporation, who has worked with us to provide some of the prizes for the first, second, and third participants. So we're grateful for that support.
And in terms of the support as well, I also see performances this is on Monday, Pink Panther, Darren Sandy, Master Spoken Word Poet, Highlanders, of course, you couldn't do it without it, Unistar Steel Orchestra, Phoenix Steel Orchestra, Siparia Deltones, and I guess that's why you call the name, and Diatonics Pan Institute.
Correct.
And with that, we want to thank you very much, gentlemen. Robert Hernandez, manager, Highlanders Steel Orchestra, and Hayden Gittens, director of World Steelpan Thrust. And we continue, it's a packed day. We continue with the conversations after this. The Now Morning Show, it comes back. Stay with us.
No one ever mentioned the strength of the diamond. Forgetting that Sando would upset the whole show.